All right, so what we're going to work on today is we're going to work on getting our final packages set for the yearbook. So I have up right now our baseball spread that Eric worked on. What we're going to be doing here is we are going to be making our final adjustments to what we need for our book. So once you've downloaded your package off your share drive, so if you go to your share drive, you go here, and you've downloaded your folder will pop up on your computer in your downloads. You click on the INDD file and it loads up. A couple things we want to draw attention to because we've had some issues with this in the past. What we're looking to do is we're looking to fix our links issue. So up here on the right side or on the window, you look for links. Once you click on it, it'll pop up with an option that looks like this. You see what page the file is. When you click on it, it will, if you click on a specific image on your document, it will highlight your image here. And so what you're going to do is you're going to look for information right here. And what we want is we want an actual DP or PPI of 300. 300 is the magic number. Now, in the past, we've had some issues sometimes when our photos don't match up to what they need to be in terms of maybe the quality of the photo. And maybe it's not just that it's out of focus. Maybe it's perfectly in focus, but because we've changed the size of the picture, we've changed the dimensions, that causes some issue. And so what we're going to do is we're going to edit this picture in Photoshop in Lightroom to make sure that we can make it the best that we possibly can. Okay, so you can choose Lightroom or Photoshop. I know I just said Lightroom, but we're going to actually do Photoshop for this one. And it will load up with your screen of what you need. Okay, so because before we did this process, I looked at the links and made sure all the links were where they need to be in the folder. When I edit this picture, I'm actually editing the actual picture on the page. Okay, and so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to export. I'm going to go to export as, and I'm going to click JPEG. On JPEG, I'm going to go to scale and I'm going to click 200%. And what this does is it makes the photo a little larger and it adds more pixels in there. So when it zooms back in on your actual size, it's going to look much sharper when we actually get it printed. Okay, so that's something new for this year that we're going to work on. So we've done the 200%. We're going to click export and it's going to ask us where to save it. Now you're going to go back to the folder where your documents were from. So in this case, it was the links folder. I'm looking for 147.2, which is right here. And I'm going to click save. And I'm going to ask it to replace it. Why I'm asking it to replace it is because then the way it's linked, it will show up automatically on the page. When I come here, I'm looking at what it says, and it says effective PPI is much higher, and that's good. Okay, so the goal is 300, but we want to do this for each of the pictures on our page. Most spreads have about 8 to 10 photos on them, so that whole process shouldn't take you super, super long. But the important part of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make sure the photos look as high quality as possible. Okay, so once you've done that and you're all set and you're good to go, you're going to go up to File and you're going to go to Package. Okay, and I'm going to look and I'm going to see the links and I'm going to make sure that our status is that everything is linked and nothing is unlinked. Okay, now again, you want to do this after you do all the process of these photos, making sure they're 200%. Okay, but you're going to go here to package, must be saved, of course. Okay, and I'm going to resave this as the way that eCampus shows. So this is going to be 130 to 131 baseball RTP, and that is going to make the file our package, which means that we can work on it from any computer. It helps us out. It's what we send over to the printers, and that's important. For PDF print, we're going to go to high quality. Okay. Include INDL. That's helpful. Good. All right. So we're all set, and we're going to package. And I knew I created that package, and it sent it to my folder. So good. So I'm going to click on the new folder here, RTP. I have a PDF that's going to load up with everything that we need to load up with. It's going to have the new photo all perfectly put in there. It's going to have a high quality, see, we have a high quality photo here. It's going to have the PDFs that we need. Now, your responsibility is to go over to the share drive and upload this to our RTP folder. Okay, so on the above it all, we're going to go to new folder, and this is the RTP final packages. Okay, and RTP final packages, you're going to drop your folder in there. Okay, you are going to drop that folder in there and make sure. I've noticed this too. We want to make sure that it gets all the way through to that 7 out of 17. We want to make sure it says 17 out of 17. Last thing I want to do here is look at our links. We need to make sure that there are no .psd files in these links. What that's doing is that's clogging up our drive and it's stopping us from being able to finish the book. So what we need to do is make sure that if you do have any any PSD links, you find it, you do the same process where you go, this is already loaded in Photoshop, so I'm going to load this up again, this picture. And that's why you want to go to export. We're going to go export as JPEG or PNG if you're doing a cutout, but JPEG for most of us here. Scale, again, make sure we do that 200, and we click export. And when we need to relink it, we're going to say this is the relinked picture of Swinger. Okay. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to look for this picture. I'm going to say relink. Come back into our good little folder here, and I'm going to look for that image. Maybe I did it too quickly, which is what I'm thinking I did. And so I'm going to go back here and I'm going to say relink. And what I did is I ended up actually saving it in the wrong folder. And that's, again, mistakes happen. This is why we want to make sure we do this in class and we do this so that we can have it, right? So I ended up saving it in the wrong spot. This can happen really naturally. So I did that here. I'm going to make sure I click open now. And the new picture that's going to go there is the relinked picture of that Swinger, okay? It's really important that after you make sure that you do the photo stuff first. If you do the photo stuff first and you package it, then your package is all completed. But if you package it and then you start editing the photos, there's a lot higher chance that something's going to go wrong, okay? As always, if there is anything that you need, if there is anything that we can do to make your process better, you talk to us, you let us know, and we can fix it. Again, when you're packaging this, make sure your fonts are right, make sure everything is looking sharp, make sure your things are actually completed. When you're all done your spread and you've done the packaging and you've uploaded it and you've put your PDFs in eCampus, when you submit your PDFs, you're submitting just this PDF here, and you're going to do this for each of the spreads that you worked on during this year. Okay, so for deadline 1, you submit to deadline 1, deadline 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Some of you worked on 2 in deadline 3 and nothing on deadline 4. So everyone in this class worked on at least 5 spreads this year. Upload your final one to RTP there. Okay. If there are any questions, again, talk to your pod leader, talk to me. This is a simple process, but I know it can be difficult if you're not used to it. So we want to make sure that we have that here. Make sure you only upload your final one to RTP. RTP is what your pod leaders are going to go through to make sure everything's all perfect. It's going to help us out editing, and it'll help us kind of out fully here, make sure our book is fully perfect in what it needs to do. Okay. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. And let's finish out this book strong. Our school deserves a good yearbook, and you're the ones to make that happen. So let's show up. Let's make it good. Let's finish this year out strong. Thanks, y'all.